Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our fourth night of our virtual vacation Bible school. Today we're going to learn about stars and wise men. It's going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, let's call out our good friend Coco. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey, Coco!
Hi, everyone!
Hey, Coco, you're standing the wrong way. Oh, there you are. Hi, Coco. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Are you ready for tonight's lessons?
Yes.
We are going to have so much fun. We're going to be singing songs. We are going to be doing our activity sheets that are in your kit. We're going to be doing our craft items. And we're going to learn another great story about wise men and the star through Grandma and Grandpa. They're going to be telling us a great story. So I hope you'll stick with us all the way through. And Coco and I will be back later on to tell you a little bit more about missions. Are you excited about this, Coco?
Yeah.
All right. You remember what our missions project is? Oh, Coco, it's ARC. Ash really cares. And we're collecting canned goods and money to help people out who are in need during the coronavirus. How's that sound like a good deal?
That sounds like a very good deal.
All right. Well, we'll see you later on in our program. Bye-bye, kids.
Bye.
Woo!
1, 2, 3, 4. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive and heed. Let every heart prepare and move. And let nature sing, and let nature sing, and let nature sing. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations rule. The glories of His righteousness, and wonders of His love, and wonders of His love, and wonders of His love, and wonders of His love.
Well, Grandma, what are you doing in the kitchen? Something smells really good.
Grandpa Ken, you're always thinking about your stomach. Well, this is the last batch. I wanted you to have one of my cookies.
You always were a good baker.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
In fact, kids, your grandma is the fastest baker in town. Did you know that she can whip up a batch of cookies in a nanosecond? Get it? Nanosecond.
Notice the cookies are all in the form of a star.
Hmm.
Did you notice that they have a special frosting on them?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice I put your old socks in them?
Mm-hmm. What?
Just
What?
kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
You could have killed me. I nearly choked on that cookie.
Those socks would take down an elephant. They could walk to the laundry on their own. But sorry about that. Have another cookie.
Are you sure there were no socks harmed in the making of these cookies?
I'll never tell. Oh.
Well, these cookies are pretty good. I guess even if my old socks were in them, they're too good to pass up.
Do you know why I made them into the shape of a star? It's because it reminds me of tonight's story. You see, back in Numbers 24:17, the Bible tells us that a star would rise out of Jacob in the future. Do you know who that star is? That's right, it's Jesus.
About 1,200 years before Jesus came, God revealed that Jesus, the bright and morning star, would come.
The Bible also tells us about a star that guided wise men to the baby Jesus. That story is found in 2:1 through 23. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi, or wise men, from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem was with him. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem, in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him." After they heard that the king that they went on their way, and the star that they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was born. When they saw the star, I'm going to read that over again because kids, I made a goofy mistake. After they heard the king, they went on their way, and the star that they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route.
Can you imagine waiting for Jesus to be born and following his star to find him? The wise men searched for Jesus for a long time. Jesus may have been a toddler when the wise men found him in Bethlehem. Mary, Joseph, and the baby were no longer in the stable by that time, but were in a house. And the wise men brought gifts for the Messiah, the King of the Jews.
But Herod, the king of Israel, was jealous and wanted to kill anyone who threatened his power and position. So the wise men were warned by an angel in a dream that Herod was not wanting to worship Jesus, but to kill him. So they went back home without going back to Jerusalem.
Herod was not happy about that at all. Let's read on. When they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," he said. "Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. And so was fulfilled what the Lord had said through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I called my son." When Herod realized he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious, and he gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in accordance with the time he had learned from the Magi. Then what was said through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. "A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more."
It's hard to imagine anyone wanting to massacre little babies, but Herod didn't want anyone taking his throne. He thought he could end this threat, but God, he had other plans. Herod's evil deed was foretold nearly 600 years before Jesus was born. The prophecy reminds us that even though God does not cause these bad things to happen, he uses them for good, to show people that Jesus is the Messiah, the Christ, the Star of Jacob.
I have another ornament to put on the tree with this verse from Jeremiah 31:15. A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. Perhaps this is one of the reasons that Jeremiah is called the weeping prophet.
Oh, that is gorgeous. I love it. But Joseph, Mary, and Jesus did not stay in Egypt long. Let's read the rest of the story. After Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and go to the land of Israel, for those who were trying to take the child's life are dead." So he got up, took the child and his mother, went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning in Judea, in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. Having been warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee, and he went and lived in a town called Nazareth. So was fulfilled what said through the prophets, that he would be called a Nazarene.
Almost everything in this story connects Jesus to the promises of the Old Testament. That's exciting. It shows that God keeps his promises. It shows us that Jesus will take care of our every need. He is the King, the star that was promised long ago.
My children, I hope you enjoyed tonight's story, and I hope that you have learned a valuable lesson.
Wise men still seek him. That means that every boy and every girl can seek and find Jesus. Jesus wants you to come to him.
One of my favorite verses in the Bible says, "And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." Hebrews 11:6.
We'll see you tomorrow night when you join us for another look into God's promises. Until then, God bless every one of you.
Good night, my little ones. Sleep tight.
Welcome to our fourth night of our virtual vacation Bible school. We are so glad you could join us tonight for our 2020 Christmas. Tonight's memory verse comes from Jeremiah 31:15. It says, "A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more." Jeremiah 31:15. Now this verse also has a couple of big words in it. Ramah is a place or is the name of the region where Bethlehem is at. And Rachel, who is the wife of Jacob, she was considered the mother of Israel, of all of the children of Israel. And so it says again in Jeremiah 31:15, "A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more." Jeremiah 31:15. Now, if you were able to say that, give yourself a pat on the back. That's pretty good. But we're going to go through it one or two more times so that you can learn it. And don't forget your practice sheet. You can go over and over again on this on your own, as well as you can go back and rewind this video and say it with me over and over again until you learn it and hide it in your heart. Jeremiah 31:15. "A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more." Jeremiah 31:15. One last time. I know you can do this. So let's continue on. Jeremiah 31:15. "A voice is heard in Ramah." See, I goof up too. Let's try that again. Jeremiah 31:15. "A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. Jeremiah 31:15. And since we goofed up, or I goofed up, I'm going to say it one more time before I leave tonight. Jeremiah 31:15. A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping. Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. Jeremiah 31:15. If you've done that, good job. If you haven't been able to get it memorized, continue to look at it and practice. You'll get it right. God bless you. Good night. Welcome to our fourth night of missions, and we have been talking about ARC, A-R-C, Ash Really Cares, and about how you can help out. Tonight we're going to share with you some other ways that you can help out at ARC, at ARC. So let's see if we can bring out our good friend Coco and see if he knows by now, by our fourth night, what ARC is all about. Let's call him out. Hey, Coco!
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Coco. It's our fourth night at Vacation Bible School, and we're talking about our missions project, right?
Yep.
And we're talking about ARC, right?
Yes.
And now you know what ARC is all about, right?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, well, tell our kids about ARC.
Art is about God flooding the earth.
No. ARC, A-R-C, Ash Really Cares. We're talking about the ministry of ARC, A-R-C, Ash Really Cares. And tonight we're going to be talking about some other ways that you can help out, such as giving your money or by helping out by volunteering some time. There's other things that you can do helping out ARC. So let's sit back and watch our video and learn what the real meaning of ARC, A-R-C, is all about.
When you bring in clothes, or when anyone brings in clothes, they bring them usually to the back. We have a back door that looks like a garage door. There's a back room where a lot of our volunteers work when things are brought in, and they sort through the clothes to size, put them in appropriate size, and they bring them into the shop as needed and sort them according to their size.
We work in many different areas as far as the food and the clothes. The food is usually always our biggest need. Clothing comes in on a regular basis, and sometimes we see more families than we have food, so food is always our biggest need here at the ARC.
Welcome back. Are we learning those verses? Tonight's verse is from Jeremiah 31:15. This verse tells us about the time when the wise men followed a star. Today's ornament is a stained glass star. Let's get started. For this craft, all we are going to need is your bag with the number 4 on it, and either white glue or clear tape. Actually, you could use any kind of tape. What I have here happens to be clear tape. Any tape that your parents happen to have would work for that part of it. So let's get started. Let's open this up and pull all these pieces out. In here you'll find a ribbon. We'll just set that aside for now. You'll find a black outline of a star, a bunch of colored paper, tissue paper strips, and 2 pieces of clear contact paper. The first thing we want to do is take these colored strips and tear them up a bit. We want some small pieces here. So however you want to get that done, you just kind of stack them up, tear them up, whatever you want. We want little pieces. They don't have to be real tiny, but you don't want big pieces, so you can get a lot of different colors. And just kind of pile them up and move them over to the side a minute. And we need to get one of these contact sheets. Your parents may need to help you get this going because it's a little tricky to get that started to peel. Once you get that started, you don't want to touch the sticky part very much at all. So we want to lay that down and kind of hold it in place and peel that paper off of there. And we want to leave that sticky laying there with the sticky side up. I'm going to take the black star and we're going to lay it on here. Probably best to lay it with the points going from corner to corner on your piece here. And just kind of carefully tap it down so it sticks to that clear paper. Now we're going to put those color pieces that you tore up in the center here. We want to keep them off of the black. We want to keep them all in the center, but we want to cover that center with different colors of paper. And they can overlap. Just lay them in there any way you want to and let them overlap each other. Just, you want to make sure that nothing goes beyond the black. So if it goes over on the black, just kind of turn it back on itself. It'll be fine. All right. Now, once we have it all pretty much on the inside, we're going to need that other piece. So we're going to start to peel it back from one corner. May take a little bit to get that corner going. This time we don't want to peel it all the way off yet. We just want to get it started and kind of fold that over. And we're going to lay this down where we're kind of even with our, keep it over the center of that and get it laid down. And press that one corner down real good. Once you get that corner down good, then you can reach under here and get that piece that you peeled back. And just gently, you're going to have to hold this down on the top and gently start pulling this off. And just as you go, every once in a while stop and press that part down good so you're getting all the air bubbles out as you go. Then you can pull it a little further. And just keep working across just like that, pressing all those air bubbles out. There we go. Now just rub over that real good with your fingernail. Get all that stuck down good all over the star, and you can follow the edge of the outside, and that'll help that contact paper stick together well. Just crease that down real good so that contact paper sticks good. Once you have all that stuck together, now we're going to take it and take your scissors and cut along the outside edge all the way around, but be sure and leave some of this plastic on there. You can cut it fairly close, but you want to have a little bit of plastic all the way around to help it stay sealed. All right, we're almost got it here. One last leg of the star here. Okay, now that can go in the trash, and there's your pretty star. And we're going to pick a side to be the back. We're going to take that ribbon and make a loop of your ribbon. You want to cross it over, and we're going to put it on the top star point there so we have something to hang it by. So you can do that with glue. So I'd put a little glue like this, and then cross your ribbon over. So you lay one on one side and then cross the other one over and get that other side, keeping the ribbon on the black part like so. If you don't want to use glue, or you'd rather use tape, that will work too. You could just get a piece of tape. Clear tape would probably be best for this, and you can just tape down the ribbon onto the back of the star. And that's it. Once it all dries, there you go.